Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be kind of wrapping everything up for the week in terms of the ×2 boosted ancient event and the whale war for Sir Nicholas, and kind of catching you up to speed on everything in the raid community and in game. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, in the news post, we can see here that Plarium put out a new video about the Minotaur's Labyrinth. I checked it out for a little bit. It's basically like an introduction to the Minotaur's Lab, explaining exactly how it works and all of that. So go ahead and check that out if you're curious about the Minotaur Lab. And then we see the boosted summoning rates has actually come to an end. So we'll see that the aesthetic is gone on the portal, and then when you go to the little eye here, everything is back to normal and nothing is ×2. So that is over. In terms of my pulls on my main account, I did have a lot of footage that I wanted to show. Some of it was lost, so I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it or not. I probably pulled thousands of shards for, I don't know the exact number, for viewers, and then on my main account I was able to get Errol and Ray. I've already maxed out Ray. I'll probably do a guide on her at some point. I don't know about Errol. I'm on the fence if I'm gonna max him out and build him, but yeah, it was a good time. Let me know down in the comments what you got for champions. I always enjoy hearing what you guys came out with. So yeah, in terms of the Sir Nicholas Whale War, it actually ended up being the craziest whale war we've ever seen. And what's funny is back in 2019, Sir Nicholas was actually a fusion back when Raid was really new. Raid had only been out for like 2 months, and they did a fusion for Sir Nicholas, and I'll actually go ahead and pull it up here. Alrighty, I've got that ready to go, and this was the fusion for Sir Nicholas. So yeah, it was one epic Jingle Hunter, a couple uncommons, and a void rare. So and the void rare and the epic were fusible by extremely easy to acquire rares that you could find in the campaign. So Sir Nicholas was essentially free if you were willing to put in the effort. Crazy, and now you're spending thousands of dollars to get him. So it's just funny how the landscape of Raid kind of changed from the early days to now, and how valuable Sir Nicholas kind of ended up being. I think when they did this fusion, Plarium maybe didn't understand how amazing Sir Nicholas was, or they used it as kind of a carrot to dangle in front of people to kind of introduce them to the game and give the game kind of a push off of those players that were back in the early days of Raid. So they either underestimated him or did it to kind of get the player base hype and get them invested emotionally in the game. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Yeah, 226,000 basically points. They kind of overshot it a little bit, but maybe they couldn't stay up until the event ended or whatever. But I would have been a little bit more judicious about being careful here, and it looks like it ended up being a war between 2 or 3 people or so. But yeah, that's the highest point total we've ever seen. And if you're curious, this person spent, depending on their RNG, somewhere between $6,000 and $8,000 to get Sir Nicholas. And if you're curious, there's only one way to go dummy, kraken, bonkers whale in this game, and that is to go into the shop, into the bank, and buy these $100 4,200 gem offers. So these people are buying 50, 60, 70 of these, and then going to the gem shop and just spamming these 900 gem big shard packs, going out, claiming them all, opening them, crunching rares, storing a bunch of food, just crunching whatever they can, pulling them, getting the legendaries, and just acquiring as many points as they can. So I'm able to calculate the average cost based on average RNG in terms of, what pulling 1,000 ancient shards is expected to give you. I can get an average points per shard. I can translate that into dollars spent in terms of, buying these $100 offers, converting them into gems. And when I did that, I got about $7,000 if that's the way they did it. So depending on their RNG, it's going to be somewhere between $6,000 and $8,000 that this person spent to win the global event and get Sir Nicholas. It's the craziest one we've ever seen. I'm actually a little bit surprised that it was that crazy. I would have thought that it wouldn't surpass Hegemon and Venus and champions like that. So very interesting that Sir Nicholas was by far and away the biggest whale war we've seen. And yeah, very interesting how that turned out. I did not expect that. So in terms of other tournaments, we're going to be having a Fire Night tournament going live here soon tomorrow, and we're also going to be having an event, another champion training event. We can see a legendary book and a void shard here as a reward there. So I don't expect 1.13 to drop tomorrow. It's probably going to be another week or two, unfortunately. I really thought we would see it right about now, like the end of February or end of January, early February, but it's looking like it could be closer to the middle of February for 1.13. It just doesn't feel like it's going to drop tomorrow, and typically they drop their patches on Monday, especially their big releases, like a 1.13 is going to be. Typically, it's at the beginning of their work week, and it drops on Monday, but it just doesn't feel like it's coming. And then we've also got an arena event. This one was pretty achievable if you're in the end game, if you're in Gold 4. Let me know how hard it was if you're kind of an early to mid-game player. But this one was pretty easy for me to achieve, and I'll definitely max that out pretty soon here, well before it ends. And let's also go over the offers in the shop here and catch you up to date on what exactly is going on there. Alrighty, so obviously the big offer is the kind of this special offer pack. So I'll go over that first. That's probably the one that people are really curious about. Let's plug this in, and I think I did this on stream, and I don't remember exactly, but it did grade out pretty darn well if I remember right. 1,500 energy and 1,300 gems. So yeah, we've got a 2.29. This is a pretty awesome offer in terms of what we usually get from Plarium. It's got some guaranteed progression with energy and gems. It's also got some upside, in pulling shards and adding value to your account, kind of both ways, and guaranteed value and RNG upside. So if you're the type to spend money on raid, this is one of the better offers that you're usually going to get in the game. This type of offer, that's a 2.3 with guaranteed progression and RNG upside. We only see this once every 2 or 3 weeks, so definitely a pretty good one to buy, and they're limiting it at 1 for a reason. This one, typically the one on the right, just in case you're curious and want to see it, I will plug it in. Actually, I'll just put 100. Typically the one on the right is way better. The one on the left is better for newer players, but it's definitely not going to be as good for endgame players. So let me plug this in here. 3, 2, and then we're just going to go gems, just to update you on exactly what this one is like. And yeah, it grades out as exactly a 1.5. It's decent. It's something I would really only buy if you're kind of a whale and you have a pretty good budget to spend on raid, because this is not kind of one of the offers I would like to buy consistently. But I did buy it a lot back when I was kind of a mid-game player and I really needed the epic and legendary books. So it's not a horrible offer to buy. It's just not something that's amazing. The Conqueror pack. So I got a $15 one. I've been getting the $20 one because I was spending a little bit more than usual during the ×2 Ancient pack. So this is the first day I've gotten the $15 one in a while. The Conqueror packs are usually pretty good value, but nothing incredible. But in terms of some guaranteed account progression and a little bit of shards and XP and keys and silver, it's not bad. We went over this one. The Divine Life set. So Divine Life is, it's okay. It's not like a super meta set or anything. I think 30 is a little bit pricey if they're not going to be 6 stars. Even if all of these were 6-star legendary, it's still probably something I would be recommending to pass on. We can plug in and see what the guaranteed value is worth. I don't usually do that, but let's do that. 350 and then 450 silver. Whoa, way too much. Alright, so yeah, we're only getting $2 worth of guaranteed value. So is this gear worth a $27 investment? I don't think so. This should be $19.99 in my opinion. And then if it's 6-star, it should be like $23.99 or $24.99. Just, gear is too difficult to roll well. You got to get the right main stat, then you got to get the right substats, then you got to get it to roll the right substats when you upgrade it to 16. So it's just too hard to get all of those things to line up. So that's why I typically don't recommend the gear set purchases. So yeah, that's going to kind of do it for this video. Get your Fire Night teams ready because we do have a Fire Night tournament coming up and starting this week. And also, start preparing for the champion training, event going on. So save some of those level 30s and level 40s and wait, until that event starts to make your 4 and 5 stars and kind of save your brews up and get ready to complete that event. So yeah, let me know down in the comments how your boosted ancient event went. I always enjoy hearing your input and kind of seeing what you guys got. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.